let me kind of go on what you're talking about and share with you something else to think about. Um, because we're talking about the resume in general. Think about this. The resume is not a differentiator. Okay? Everybody has one. They're all 2 pages, right? They're all structured basically the same way. And from the hiring manager perspective, we can tell you that one of the most challenging things for us is to look at all of these sets of credentials and figure out who the best person for the job is. So, how Rich described that first page, one of the things that, in my experience, has been very effective, and that I suggest in the book as well, is to consider putting together a summary of qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
And why this is important is, if you leave it up to somebody in HR or a hiring manager to somehow subjectively or not qualify and quantify you based upon your resume, well, then you're leaving it up to them. And I like to have more control and take the subjectivity out of the equation. And so through this summary of qualifications idea, you can, in a single page, tell the hiring manager, I'm the best person for the job, and here's why. I understand the company and the particular position. Here's my skill set and how it exactly relates to what you're looking for. Here are my non-work personal attributes that make me a great team player of the organization, and I'm very interested in being a part of your organization. Sometimes that one page is all the hiring manager needs to read. You've made it easy for them. They don't have to go through the resume and try and figure out where everything is at.
And briefly, I don't know if there's questions on this or not. If you're going to interview with 5 different firms, 5 different industries, you probably want 5 different qualification summaries. You probably want five different focuses of that document or that contact, because you want to make sure that you understand the connection between you and the company that you're working with. How do you frame what you have done in a way that is meaningful to them in the position that they have available? And I think one of the largest fears I see is people who basically will shoot out 100 resumes or 1,000 resumes instead of saying, I'm going to take 5 opportunities this week and I'm going to try very hard to make a connection with the company by merging or harmonizing my experience, my knowledge with what this company is looking for and what this role is. I find when people make that investment, they have a higher likelihood of making a connection on that first page.
I mean, no question, the days of the generic resume are over, and if you send one out, it's instantly identifiable from HR or whoever is screening, and it usually goes to the non-interested hire because they know you just have a general resume.
I had a question. Are you suggesting that you should use the summary qualifications in lieu of a resume, or as part of the cover letter, or attach it to the resume? Right. Yeah. Okay.
And if I think you need to go above and beyond what everyone else is doing. I think the key word for success in today's marketplace is differentiation. Right? How do you set yourself apart in the mind of the hiring manager? So if everyone else is sending a resume and a cover letter, how are you going to differentiate yourself? So a summary of qualifications is one great addition. I love the idea of the personal profile. Right? People like to hire other people that they like, that are interesting and have other non-work qualities that they bring to the environment. How do you get that across? Right? Terribly difficult in the interview. Usually doesn't happen until months after you're on the job. Share that information with them before you have a chance to meet. So I like, I'll ask you to consider thinking not in terms of a resume, but in terms of a credentials package. A much broader scope of information that you can give the hiring manager to consider to select you for an interview, which is your ultimate objective in today's economy.
I have a question. So what does the template for a summary of qualification look like? Is it, and you just get it on Word?
Yeah, I think it's it's in the book. It's available online as well. But it's one page, and it is an opening statement of I believe I am uniquely qualified for this position for the following reasons, and it goes through your understanding of the role, how your skills apply, your non-work attributes that you bring to the table, and again, it's a whole pitches to the value that you will bring to the position if you're selected. And again, when they look at that, you've answered all the questions that they normally have, right? How does this person's skills match? You're going to tell them. What else do they bring to the table? You're going to tell them. Answer all the questions for the hiring.
So does you name that document summary of qualification?
Yeah, and what I ask people to do is you still want a cover letter, but what do you think happens with most cover letters? Right, it's a cover letter. Set that aside. What's next? So usually, if your summary of qualifications is next, that's the first thing to read about. It's pretty interesting. What is that? And so it's not a replacement for the cover letter. Again, it's an addition. It's an addition to. But you use your cover letter to kind of share with the person what you're presenting to them and why you're interested in a great person for the job. It's kind of the lead into everything else that follows.
And it could be tailored by company that you're going into based on
It
what
should
Rich said,
be.
yeah, experience. In my business, I provide consultants. It used to be, do they have the technical skills? And we submit people and present them based on technical skills, and of course all these other things that make it a candidate. But that's the given is they better have the technical skills if you're going to submit them. But now it's industry experience, like Rich said. Large health insurance company as a client, we usually search for people who have business knowledge of in the health industry, and they're a good programming person or whatever. So when you're searching, I'm going to cross points that we talked earlier, but when you're targeting your search for a job, if you've got something in your background that is in a specific area like healthcare or something else, try to find those companies first.
Or
If that's what you want to do.
Or even if it's a similar industry, let's say that you were in banking and the firm you're excited about working with is let's say it's an insurance company. How can you take the best practices or your knowledge that working with details, attention to detail, or the importance of understanding compliance with federal law, and how can you take some of the things that you had to be successful in the banking industry, how are they relevant and carry forward to maybe someone who's looking to hire in the insurance industry? There's a lot of transferability that I think people have an opportunity to leverage.
Everything you have, everything that's you have from experience, the things that you do in your personal time, everything that makes you up as a unique individual is of value. The question is, how do you package that for each and every opportunity that is presented to you?